Okay. Welcome back to SnowRunner. Yesterday we did not the last few tasks, but all the tasks in Island Lake. From what I understand, there will be one later where we have to fix this bridge. I do believe, but that's not available yet. So we can focus our attention on Drummond Island, where I have not done very much. Fixed this bridge, and this bridge. And I think that's about it, really. So there's quite a bit left to do, some stuff which I haven't even found yet. So joy to the world, we will get to do the long drive from the Smithville garage to this map. What's the easiest thing to do here? Probably not this, although this will need a crane. I have to be mindful of that I bring at least one kind of nimble truck here, mainly for this barrel thing. And a crane is necessary for this task as well. It's kind of a tough call, because I don't really know what these silent observer... I do know what this forged by the sea thing is going to be. Not fun. And tourist attraction. So maybe all we really need is... Doesn't seem like there's much off-roading to do here. Like, but I'm thinking Royal and Fleet Star. Royal, Fleet Star, White Western. Seems like the obvious trio. So, yeah. We have the Fleet Star and the Royal in Island Lake, so perhaps we should just take those to Drummond Island first. And since I'm here and I won't be here for a while, I kind of want to check out this thing, because it bothers me that it's grayed out because I haven't been there before. Okay. I'm trying to keep these introduction things as brief as I can, but I tend to struggle a bit just figuring out what to do. Fuel should be less of an issue in Drummond Island. Not that it was such a big issue here, but there is a fuel station in Drummond. And it's just a small map to begin with. Service trailer. Should I take this? From what I remember, it's not really part of any mission. Except there isn't a trailer store in Drummond Island, as far as I can see. Maybe there's one here by the docks, but I haven't been there yet. So, yeah. I think I'm just gonna try and winch this along for the ride. I had to make a judgment call if I wanted to stream now or record videos, but generally on any day except Sunday it can be a bit risky to record videos during the day, especially the kind of videos I make where I need as much quiet as there can be. So yeah, since it's still afternoon, 3:30 p.m, I figured I should stream a bit today, or stream a bit now and record some videos later, if I can. That said, these SnowRunner streams seem to be getting a bit of focus. Like, I'm trying to be mindful of the balance between these streams and my regular videos, but yeah. I feel like I went the wrong way. Come on, tree. I took the wrong way around this tree. It's a bit of a pickle. Maybe winch from the trailer. It's hard to judge if these trailers are as heavy as they look. Yeah, I don't really have to take it any further than this necessarily. So maybe I should just leave it here. I will be making a few trips when I'm done with all the missions, just to round up all the trailers and sell them. It's kind of a shame I don't have crane on the Fleet Star. I took it to Drummond for whatever task I wanted to do at the time. Which didn't require a crane. So yeah, now I'm kind of stuck unless I recover and drive all the way across Smithfield Dam once more. Apologies for the sniffling. I could refuel there because there's a fuel tanker trailer. I'm not going to. End of pointless message. It's not here, is it? No. Follow the signs. Should have made use of the repair trailer I was towing to repair my truck. Okay. What now? I could try to rescue this scout with the Fleet Star, because otherwise it doesn't really have any purpose here except for getting these few flag things uncovered. I feel like I made a wrong turn. I feel like people complain a lot about the positioning of the gate portal, because it's kind of far out, so you have to reverse towards the actual physical gate in order to turn right where the gate is, where the portal is. Because yeah, you kind of want to go this way generally, which now I didn't do. So yeah, because the gate is here and not there. I see people complain about that a lot. Then again, you see people complain about many things on Reddit. Okay, let's just see what this is. Explore Hollis Island. Okay. It sounds easy enough. I should refuel sometime soon. Kind of redundant, this task, because you have to go across Hollis Island anyway. Until you fix that bridge. As in, Hollis Island is a detour around the broken bridge. So I have been there before. Maybe I should refuel first, because I'd rather not get stuck there. Okay, oh, that was a bit reckless. I wonder if that's the only thing we have to do. I'm expecting there to be further objectives. No, it's not a big difference between diff locks on or off in terms of fuel consumption, so I might as well leave them on. I never really experimented much with that. Oh no, that's it. $500 seems about right for how easy this was. Then, yeah, let's check that out. So we go around, left, across the bridge, make sure to keep right there, follow, left, and then it should be obvious enough. I'm gonna try and reverse through here. As long as you don't go ham on the throttle, should be fine. It's only with too much power that you tend to dig yourself in. Can turn around here. Careful with these boulders. And then after this, I mean, depending on what this next flag thing will involve. Although, is that the forged by the sea one? Yeah. Not gonna want to do that. It's by far one of the things I struggled the most with in my first playthrough. In all of Michigan, probably. Because you have to get some big cargo out of a very awkward place. It's a small thing, but I want to be a bit more, or I want to take a small amount of time occasionally to just go into photo mode and take a screenshot of whatever I'm doing. Because I've had the thumbnail with the Chevy for the longest time. Even though I've never used the Chevy anymore, so it took a minute to take a shot of the Royal just now. I mean, earlier today. Let's quickly repair. You can take some nice shots with the photo mode, and it is a very good looking game, so it's kind of a shame to not make use of it, to have a bit more variety in thumbnails perhaps. Because with YouTube it's kind of, I don't know how it is with Twitch these days, because I haven't streamed on Twitch in 8 years or so. But at first, when I did the first streams on YouTube a few months ago, I was a bit confused that you had to make a thumbnail for them. Because typically a thumbnail is something like, it's an image of whatever you did in the video, which you can't do in a stream because you don't know what you're gonna do. So I just made a simple thumbnail with the Chevy, and now with the Royal, I don't know. Wait. Because I just want to confirm my suspicions. Okay, this is just the exploration part. Scout recommended. I think the Fleet Star can get here just fine. I don't have a scout here. And I'm pretty sure I won't need one, so I don't really feel like driving one all the way out here just for this. There is a risk that I will flip the Fleet Star. I'm guessing I can't really cut through here. Maybe you can. Is that worth the trouble? I'm gonna back out before I get stuck, preferably. Okay. Careful here. Oh. Yeah. Not perfect. still worth the, you know, not having to go the proper way. So far I maintain that the Fleet Star is just better without raised suspension. As convenient as it might be in some situations, probably in many situations, to have raised suspension and bigger tires, I have other trucks with bigger wheels that I feel more confident about that they won't fall over. Then again, there is a chance I've gotten better since the first time I played SnowRunner 3 or 4 years ago. So maybe I wouldn't struggle much at all with the raised suspension. So yeah, we have to, or we will have to take whatever, some kind of big container. Complete 10 tasks or contests without taking damage. Achievement. Yeah, there's nothing here, but we will have to take something long out of here through these rocky, narrow bits. I tell myself if I prepare properly for that mission whenever it will be available and whenever I will choose to do it, it won't be a nightmare. But yeah, getting a semi-trailer through here will not be very easy at all. I forget, but it's possible you have to use the very big trailer for this. I say that like there's only one very big trailer, but you know, like one of the extra wide ones. I don't know. I won't think about it until I have to do it. Like just here, maybe. This might be a nice shot. It's a bit less blur. One %. Not really sure what the focus point does. It doesn't seem to change much. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with all this in-depth color grading business. Oops. There's one blade of grass. The sun isn't really cooperating. Maybe this angle is better. Yep, sure. And just another one slightly different so I can choose which one is best. It's not so easy to make precise movements. Come on. Whatever. Okay, what are we doing now? Either the silent observer. I think I want to do the scout rescue thing first. So we have to go down there and then up here. I don't know if this is the best route to take. I choose to believe that it's not necessary to take this path to get to here when you can take this one, although this looks a bit narrow. Maybe on the way out with the scout it would be better because this seems a bit more open. Worth considering. I'm probably not gonna go through here this time. There's no need to rush. Might want to refuel though. Maybe not through the water. Just be happy there was no damage. Okay, but if I'm gonna refuel, I should go left first. Past this tanker, which I strategically placed. And then since we're here, we might as well check that out. Okay, pit stop, refuel. And then in here, some feisty trees. This is a terrible time to get hungry. Especially because I don't have any snacks on hand. Okay, what is this? Visit observation. Which is... oh. Right. Again, scout recommended. For this one, I'm inclined to follow their recommendation. Yeah, we will drive the scout out here. Just out of curiosity, does it say anything about upgrades? Oh yeah, upgrades 21 out of 21, okay. Just for my own peace of mind, that I didn't miss any. So we are still doing the scout now. Which I should track correctly. It's one of the cargo containers we have to pick up. Part of me is tempted to recover the Fleet Star and put the crane on it. instead of using the Royal, which does already have the crane, because the Royal, while very off-road capable, it is much more bouncy. Especially, I mean, it's not more bouncy because of the crane, but being bouncy combined with the extra weight of the crane, I think does make it more likely to fall over than it would be without the crane. All tangled in cables. I hope this won't be unnecessarily difficult. Stick to one side through here. Already getting a bit tight. Yeah. Definitely gonna want to take the long way around. But it's not so bad, like I don't really remember how much better the other path is. This does not really feel like a road. Maybe just leave it in low minus. It's a bit excessive, but these things can go sideways literally very quickly. Yeah, this is not ideal. Shouldn't even be possible, but I feel like there should be another way to get here, or to get out of here. Is this the same task, or is it something else? Yeah. Doesn't seem like there is another way. I hope I'm not setting myself up to fail. Okay. Why did I detach my winch? Just leave it in low gear. There's no need to go any faster than this. What just happened? Did it get stuck? Can you go through the trees? I'm not confident enough. Maybe I could have. Yeah. Nope. Deflux for the rescue. Let's go through here. But I do want to go right. Even though it's just one kind of tight section. Of course, there is this, which I did not anticipate. No, out of fuel. Okay, low gear minus is still, you know, still enough for now. Nope. One higher isn't any faster. It's very possible this was a mistake and I should have just taken the shortest route. Why am I completely off the ground? No, that's just not the way to go. Can I still get around that tree? Okay, just stop for a minute. I mean, not even stop, but this is where we will need to park to get to those barrels. If I had a crane, I would just, you know, try to get the barrels up here for later pickup. Or even just to take them along now. It's hard to estimate if the small crane can reach, but I think it should be able to. But I don't feel comfortable coming here with the Royal. Can't really see where I'm going. Apart from a few kind of sticky sections, this route is not so bad. I shouldn't say things like that until I'm 100% in the clear. Okay, and now just, you know, follow the road. Past the P16, which so far still hasn't done any proper work, which is kind of a shame. Just thinking out loud, but maybe the P16 is just a bit inappropriate for Michigan. I don't know. Because it's just so big, and I feel like most of the roads in Michigan are too small to properly accommodate the width. Yeah, okay. This didn't look like the way for a sec. quick stop to refuel again. Very realistic. No, not down here, just further up the road. Okay. Again, a rather meager reward, but that's just par for the course. Yeah, probably this scout thing should be the next easiest thing to do. I can't make up my mind but what truck I want to use for these other two tasks. I just need a flatbed and a small crane. But on which truck? This one doesn't have much in the way of difficult terrain. This one kinda does. I think the Royal should be fine for all of this. Where's the third one? Oh, there's two. Okay. So, yeah. Smithville should be in the garage, I think. Yeah, Scout 800. Would the Kodiak be good for any of this stuff I'm planning to do? It doesn't have all-wheel drive. It's kind of a hindrance. And the twin steer, which I also haven't used for any work. But I do plan to use it for at least some of the contracts. Because some of these missions require a lot of cargo. Yeah, especially this one. Fuel, consumables, parts, planks. It is to the logistics base, which is probably not somewhere I necessarily want to go in the twin steer. It's kind of a shame. Log station, old house. Yeah, I don't know. Just making sure this is still locked, the tall snorkel. What rank am I, by the way? 13. Pretty close to 14, so soon we'll get access to the tall snorkel. Kind of feel like a color change. I'm thinking blue. Okay, so Drummond, this. I keep accidentally placing markers. So yeah, if this were an edited video, I would probably cut out the next 10 minutes or so, because it's just driving to the gate. Now I made myself very self-conscious about not talking much as a plane flies overhead. I suppose maybe I could take the shortcut. It's maybe not the best idea. Like, through here and across the rocks. I don't know how well the scout would do with this crossing, because it's kind of deep-ish water. We're not carrying cargo, so that should help. But still. If it's already gonna take some time to get to the gate, the normal route, I don't want to risk having it take twice as long, because I tried to take a shortcut that didn't end well. Yeah, the Royal is still in Island Lake. Just had to remind myself. It's very desperate to find something to do on this kind of boring drive, so let's count corners. I mean hairpin corners. Turns, it's not a corner. What's the difference between a corner and a turn? I have the excuse, I think, of not being a native English speaker. Otherwise, I would sound very stupid now if I don't already. Quick refuel. Not really necessary, but could try to cut across here. I think I will. I know I came down here on some task where you had to get 3, I believe, fuel barrels. I came down in the Royal, or was it the Fleet Star? I forget. So I should be able to go up in a scout, I reckon. It is a bit steep, and this scout can struggle a bit for power sometimes. I don't know which way to go. Straight, not left. Okay, not so bad. It's hard to say how much time that saved, but if anything, it made the whole trip a bit more interesting. Yeah, that's not really worth it. This looked like a kind of shortcut on the right, but it's pretty much the same length as the normal road. It is pretty steep at times. A stark reminder how relatively weak this vehicle is. It's fun to drive. Not the most capable. Right. I'm always happy to see this trailer store because it means we're very close to the gate and close to the end of this rather long and kind of boring road. Okay. I should know the way from memory. I highly doubt there is a faster way than just the way. Quick refuel. From the trailer, not from my roof supplies. I'm expecting this to be very easy, which is potentially a very big mistake. Ideally, I'd like to do all 3 of these missions before the end of the stream. Like this one, the one we're doing now. The one with the 3 containers. And the one with the 2 oil barrels. I don't think that's unreasonable. Whoops. I wasn't even paying attention to the road and I still went the right way somehow. It's weird when that happens, when you're just driving on autopilot and suddenly 5 to 10 minutes later you realize you are going the right way. My mom used to say that that happens to her a lot when she's driving. Doesn't sound very safe. Okay, and this is quite a bit more difficult. Or difficult is the wrong word, but more slow going than in the Fleet Star. Perhaps I should put mud tires on this Scout. So now it has the off-road tires, I think the biggest size available. Under the reasoning, I'll just use the biggest ones until I start to struggle with them, and then I'll go a size down. So far, it's been mostly fine. Let's drop down a gear, because you don't want to be bouncing all over the place. potentially a mistake, but I didn't want to go around the side because it just seemed unsafe. Low gear minus. And yeah, I absolutely made the right call to not try this with the Fleet Star. It's a bit scary. Big boulder. Okay, okay. Don't do a backflip. Okay, nice. I could drive down. I don't really want to, so let's just leave it here. Next. No real preference between these last two. We're coming from Island Lake though, in the Royal. So maybe this one should be first, because we're coming out here, then we can pick up this thing, drop it off, head over here, go back, and then yeah, those two barrels are all up here, so I think lost delivery first makes more sense. We'll have to refuel somewhere, probably here. Okay. Just the normal way out. I don't know if this is difficult, like more difficult or easier than this. Doesn't matter. I do have to adjust mentally a bit. Coming from a scout to a truck like this, I tend to drive faster than I should. Scouts tend to give me a bit more confidence, maybe because you have the autonomous winch, so it doesn't matter if you fall over as long as there's a winch point or two. Can't really do that in a normal truck. Which makes me wonder if there are standard trucks that can have an autonomous winch. I feel like I'd know if there was such a thing. Oops, Jesus. I am looking forward to moving on from all the small tasks to the big contracts. Should start making quite a bit more money that way. I'm assuming also gaining more XP, so more stuff to unlock. Not that there are many upgrades that I can think of that I really want. Like most, if not all of the trucks I use the most are as well equipped as they can be at this point. I know we need to go left there, but I have to refuel first, which is just up here. I should have parked that trailer closer to the intersection. Yep, full up. Something that quite a few people seem to do is use two trucks, use two trucks, one with crane and one with flatbed, instead of using one truck with both add-ons. I can see the merit in that, but at the same time I always wonder if it's really worth the trouble. Unless you have to take a lot of cargo at once. And for whatever reason the truck you want to do the hauling with can't have a crane. If you even need a crane. Like if it's not just auto loading. I don't know. A random thought. something I can see. I mean, I can see the merit of both things, what I just said and what I'm gonna say now. But something that also many people do and I never do, even though I probably should do it more, is to take a lot of cargo on one trailer or one truck along the big roads, and then use trucks with a flatbed to like take it the final bit of the way. Say you have to take, I don't know, 4 wood planks to 2 different places, like 2 wood planks to 2 different places, so 4 planks total. I wouldn't necessarily think to take them all in one go and then offload them separately. I feel like I'm not explaining myself properly as usual. It's more appropriate if you have to take more than 4 pieces of cargo. Even 8 sometimes in one of those huge trailers. Then you take all of it along the main roads close to where you need to drop it off, and then manually transfer to a small truck for the last bit. Okay, that took longer than expected. So, lost delivery, this one first. Probably should have taken the shortcut like I did earlier. Or I should have just gone through the mud instead of taking this rather insignificant shortcut. It's annoying when trees don't want to break. Not my smartest move. No. Where am I going? hoping I didn't make the wrong choice of truck for this. It's typically for cargo trailers. You want a truck with a lower center of gravity. Starting to doubt if I can even do this with the small crane. This looks very big. You might need the big red crane for this. Oh well. Consider this a test run. Looked like my anchors weren't touching the ground. Yeah, okay. Does work. At least for this one. I always try to be too precise with my craning. Okay, pack. Restore. Maybe a nice time for a quick photo. No, that's the shadow side. Trying to do this as quickly as possible, so like I assume no one is really itching to watch me take bad screenshots. Yeah, I think right and then through here. Be very mindful of pits in the road that can make you lean to one side suddenly and muchly. Okay. Thing number one. Straight on to thing number two. From memory, this one is the trickiest one to get to. Because it's in kind of a hole. a depression, if you will. Just thinking ahead about the Cletus mission with the barrels. I probably want to get the one on the far east of the map first. That's the most difficult one to reach. And then if I can make it out in one piece, I can pick up the second one on the way to the drop zone. Let me confirm. So I pick up this one, go out that way, and then we pass the second one just here, and then all we need to do is get down there. Hey man, Green She gang, how are you? It is a very cool truck. I very much underappreciated, well, I underappreciated it in my first playthrough, and now it's very much and very quickly become the star of Michigan so far. It feels a bit overpowered maybe for Michigan, because it's a truck you get in Alaska. So in a way, maybe it's cheating just a little bit, but you know, I wanted to use this one more this time. How am I gonna do this? Should I approach from here? Or from here? I don't think it matters that much. Had snow chains with some switched maps. I switched tires, made it weak. If I kept snow chains on was... oh. Yeah. Not sure how that works. Typically, chains are something you want to put on situationally, as in only when you need to go across smooth, icy roads. Which is why many people are wishing that chains could be put on at any time on top of whatever tires you have. I think I want to approach from this side, because this seems a bit too risky. I forget how I did this the first time, because I don't remember there being multiple ways to approach this. this is not that much better, to be honest. None of them are ideal. Because going through that rocky gully, whatever you want to call it, I don't think that would end well. If I can get down there, I think I should be able to drive up forwards. If I don't drive like an idiot. Yeah, either up here or up there. Unpacked and removed cargo on a I assume you mean mission. Now it will not come back on the map to complete the mission. That seems a bit excessive. Couldn't you just reset the mission? Okay, crane, handbrake, then crane. If you go to whatever... Oh, you can't do it from the menu, it seems. I'm fairly sure if you drive to the point where you activated or accepted a mission, you can reset it from there. I don't remember ever having to do that, but I'm like 90% sure you can. Whoops. These containers keep getting caught on my crane. Wait, I'll try to explain better. Or, yeah, maybe it doesn't work for contracts, because those don't have a point where you pick them up, so to speak. But like, the thing I'm doing now, lost delivery, the marker is a bit glitched, but here was the yellow square where you had to drive in and then accept the mission, the task, and then it shows up in this list. And I think if you go back to that point where you accepted a task, you can restart it from there. But I have to go there anyway, so I'll check if it works how I think it works. Yeah, I mean, it's tempting to just reverse, but I don't know if that's the best idea. just slowly up here. While moving forward. Oh. Don't like this at all. Diff locks would be nice. Did I bottom out? I'm caught on something. This is not cool. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. Eesh. Back up and go up over the left. If those are instructions, thank you, but they were a bit late. Yeah, it's always scary when you have to use more power than you want, because then you kind of shoot out. And as much as I like this truck, or any off-road truck, it is a bit like a bouncy ball. I have thought about it. There are practical concerns, because I don't like the idea of having to set up and you know, unset up the wheel, especially. I've never played anything with a wheel, to be fair, so maybe I'm overestimating how much of a hassle it is. But I can't really leave it attached to my desk all the time, because it's also where I work and where I play other games where I imagine it would be in the way. And also, more importantly, probably, this is the only real game that would benefit from a wheel and pedals. And it's kind of a big expense for just one game. As cool as it would be, it's just kind of, it seems excessive for my needs. All that said, I am curious how much more immersive it is to use a wheel, at least. Okay. Now, it's that one over there. Just to make sure. Because normally, if you go here, yeah, here, this is where I accepted the task, and it does say restart here, so if it is a task you want to reset, that's how you can do it. I'm not sure how you could reset contracts, if you can at all. Yeah, just one more to go. Logitech G20. In what way was it not great? That is another concern, I suppose, that I didn't think about. That I wouldn't even know which one to get. Not that I guess there is that much choice, but still. If it is kind of expensive, you do want to get something good. Thrustmaster, yeah, that's I've heard of those two. G20 and Thrustmaster. No comment. Except don't read chat while driving on kind of narrow roads. For over 300, everyone says online it's awesome. Talk it up. It's not really on point for the price. Yeah, I think I hear more about the Thrustmaster than the Logitech. I can't say how much either of them cost, but Thrustmaster's been making steering wheels. Yeah. I only hear about Thrustmaster when we're talking about wheels and stuff, so kind of makes sense. I don't know what other peripherals they make, but I assume it's better to go for the brand that specializes in them. Because Logitech make pretty much everything, or anything. Keyboards, mouses, mice. I don't know if they make controllers. Like normal dual stick controllers. I assume they do. I'm trying to hide it, but I'm kind of ticked off that I just did what I did. Hopefully it's fixable. A flight controller? You mean like a yoke or a joystick kind of thing? Or is it the one with the... I don't know what they're called technically, but the forwards and backwards levers for airplane throttle. I think as immersive as a wheel and pedals would be, I have a sneaking suspicion that I would be much worse at the game with those controls instead of just a normal controller. Maybe not, I don't know. We may never know. Unless my channel takes off, which I don't dare to hope for, and you know, it just is what it is. Okay, let's pray that I can winch the Royal back upright. Yeah, I assume there is some setup and tweaking involved with wheel and pedals just to make it respond the way you want it to. Not really sure how I want to do this, because I need to leave space for the Royal to land on its feet. No, what am I doing? That's not really working as intended. Just going back and forth between different winch points to see if any of them will work better. I think the problem is that I'm trying to winch it out of this ditch instead of trying to get it upright in the ditch. No, it's arguably worse. Okay, yeah, it's not a great experience. Should probably try to winch it the other way, because then it can kind of roll over, hopefully. Yes, okay. Not so bad. Mimosa. Is that something else entirely? I don't think I've ever heard of that brand. They make more pro kits. Yeah, I mean, as long as you buy stuff from somewhere where you can easily return it, I guess there isn't much risk. I mean, there isn't much risk in just buying whatever, seeing how it works and returning it if you don't like it for whatever reason. I don't know if you can do that with products like that. No. I keep going wrong here. I have to keep an eye on the time. Currently 5:35 p.m. I very much want to finish these last two tasks, because then that's it for all of Michigan for now. For the tasks, at least. We can start doing the contracts, and whatever tasks still show up from doing certain contracts. Okay, yeah. Then that sounds like a good way to go. Whoops. I keep breaking the rule I just imposed that I shouldn't be moving while reading chat. Yeah, it's not fun when you buy something with certain expectations and then it turns out completely differently and worse. Well, if you want me to roll everything, every truck over at least once, then yes, it's a bad rule. I'm trying to get this done without further complications. Oh, that was too fast. Okay, just here, the last container. Same deal. Crash into a boulder, as you do. Gently reverse up to it in a somewhat horizontal fashion. And this is not great. I can't see a thing. Okay, try not to push the cargo further into the river. Okay. You're a hard worker, losing your load during crop is all you do. Yeah, I'm assuming this is your first time playing. It does get much easier as you just learn small things, what not to do, and which routes you should never take. Which you can only find out if you try it once and then hopefully learn from the mistakes. I struggled a lot in the beginning. Probably to the point of wanting to quit, although it's been too long, so I don't exactly remember, but yeah. The second time round is much easier. Especially Michigan, because Michigan is... it's tough for everyone the first time. Stuck on a boulder. Pretty badly. Come on. I think I want to try winching. Oh, but I can't reach that telephone pole. Okay, yeah. It can be an easy game to burn yourself out on just because there's so much to do. And so much content. I'm really getting kind of dramatically stuck. Let's go to the left of that boulder. Is it a boulder or just a rock? Nope. Man, this sucks. Yeah, kind of doubt it, to be honest. What I need is a truck on my left side to winch from so I can stabilize myself. 'Cause I'm pretty sure whatever I do, I will end up sideways. I could just unpack, I suppose. Okay, it's a bit better. Now see, what I did is I panicked a bit and forgot to turn on my handbrake. Yeah, I'm not really going anywhere from here. This is so stupid. I'm worried I'll roll over if I unpack. Whoops. Might want to have the anchors out. What am I even trying to do? Nope, that's not correct craning. Okay, just plonk it down somewhere here. And then get myself out. Still stuck. If I had diff locks, it would work, but now it just doesn't. Annoying. At this rate, I'm not going to finish what I wanted to finish in this stream. Use the crane, suck down the truck. That sounds like a riddle. I think I know what you mean, but yeah. I'm already here, so might as well drive the Fleet Star out there again for the rescue. Oh, yeah. I'll give it a try. Although at this point, I think winching is still going to be a bit easier. Yeah, I think I specifically remember falling over, you know, in that exact spot the first time around. The worst bit is just driving across the map to use a different truck for 30 seconds to get the first truck unstuck. No, stay in high gear. Yeah. I've seen people do all kinds of stuff, like some tasks where you have to deliver 2 containers or 2 bits of cargo. Or no, it was specifically one in Alaska where you had to deliver and crane 2 containers from a river. And one guy just put one on the flatbed and the other one on the hood. Okay. Should be able to reach just about. Come on. Doesn't really want to move. Okay. Get past again. This freaking boulder is ruining my day. Right. It's the mission where I can't. Wait, that's the one I lost my box. Mission where I can't get the box to pop back up. You mean this same mission? Or the one in Alaska? Yeah, I could, I just don't really trust it because the grass is, I mean the grassy area is very uneven, as in angled to one side. Okay. Pack, restore, move this out of the way. It's a bit desperate perhaps, but I want to park it here in case I need to quickly winch to keep myself. Probably could pull it. I think I should be able to get out. Man, I hate this so much. What do I even... Is it still that same freaking boulder? Yeah, I guess you're right. Can I... No, can't reach. This is turning out to be a royal pain, pun intended. I've also thoroughly messed up the surface here from all my plowing in the dirt. I'm about to lose my mind. Just gonna try and drag the container to the road before loading it. If I can load it up here, I think it should be fine. What an absolute bitch. I know there was also a healthy amount of user error and poor decision making. But still. I'm exhausted. And now, again, I'm stuck. But not really. Yeah. Come on, man. I'm blaming the lack of difflocks in this case. It's rarely a problem to not have difflocks, but here it's a big miss. Kind of tempted to put the container on the Fleet Star instead. Just because it's lower to the ground, therefore it should be much more stable. But I could blame you. If I were a lesser person, I probably would, but that would be unfair. We're passing by the fuel station, yeah. So I don't need to refuel here. I always underestimate these big cargo containers. Both the weight and just how they completely unbalance the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, too late. Is it too late? Yeah, fine. You make a good point. Not sure what you mean by switch. I know I'm not driving the truck I winched from, but I feel like it should stay attached. Okay, pick a side here, probably not through the middle. That's where it tends to be the deepest. Scary eyes in the woods. I guess we're not gonna do the cousin Cletus thing today after all. It's kind of a shame. If I didn't have to fudge around with this specific thing, like the mess we were just in, if that didn't happen, I probably could have still done cousin Cletus. But yeah. Next time, I'm afraid. I'll be honest, if I weren't streaming, if I was just playing by myself, there would be at least some cursing, some raised temper, but I tried to suppress all of that for the streams because I don't want to be that kind of rage streamer. Not that raging once makes me a rage streamer per se, but you know. I know most of my viewers tend to watch my stuff to chill out a bit. I think I'm gonna leave the Fleet Star here. If an accident were to happen, it's not that far. The thing is, now I'm getting paranoid about things that went well the first 2 times. Like that last small shortcut to the lumber mill logging station, whatever it is, to the drop-off point. I have done that once before without even a hint of trouble. But now that I have to do it again, I get all twitchy. Maybe I shouldn't take the detour. It's fine. It should be fine. I'm willing it into being fine. Just leave it in low gear, not low gear plus. I took a wrong turn again. Oh, that keeps happening where I take the shortcut too soon. Because I should have gone there where the camera's pointing. That's where I should have gone into the shortcut. Okay, some tribulations, but finally done. Rank 14, which means the tall snorkel on the Scout 800 should be available now. Turn off the engine. So now the only task left to do is this one, which I unfortunately can't do today because I'm running out of time. But yeah, just park there, winch this up out the way we came in, across the bridge to here, load up this thing probably from here without having to go down to it. And then where does that need to be delivered again? Through here, there to there. On the plus side, now at least I won't have to spend 10 minutes deciding what I want to do first next stream, because there is only one thing left to do before we get on with the contracts. Yeah. I am tempted to recover the Fleet Star just to put the crane on it for this oil barrel thing. Maybe that's not the right choice of truck to begin with. Either way, that's gonna do it for now. Yeah. I tend to be very long-winded in my end bits, if that's what you want to call them. Yeah, that's gonna be it for now. Thank you for hanging out, Grinchy. It was nice. Thank you for the sometimes helpful suggestions. I appreciate the, the willingness to help. Probably not gonna be a stream tomorrow, except later at night. Depends what time I'll be back home, because we're visiting a family. Yeah, if not tomorrow, then most likely next Friday or Saturday. Yeah, thanks for watching, for hanging out, for chatting, for lurking if there are lurkers. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.